Welcome everyone to another edition of Willow's Weather Briefing. Today is Sunday, June 1st, 2025. Happy June, everyone. Today we have a slight risk of severe thunderstorms over portions of east central Texas. We also have a slight risk of excessive rainfall over southern Arizona associated with the remnant tropical moisture from our first tropical cyclone of the season, Alvin. Also, we have a strong geomagnetic storm expected to reach Earth today. Yesterday, we actually had an arrival of a first CME that caused an aurora seen on camera at least all the way down to UC Davis in or near Sacramento. So, if you are anywhere in the northern half of the United States tonight, look out for the auroras. But unfortunately, we still have some wildfire smoke lingering from those strong and potent wildfires in central Canada, lingering around here in the northeastern sector of the United States. So that might restrict some viewing tonight during peak aurora hours. Below average temperatures for much of the northeast today, associated with the advection of cold air from this potent cyclone, and much above average temperatures for the northern plains today, the northern Midwest, and also still above average temperatures from California and into the basin regions of the West. So looking at satellite here, we have this extratropical cyclone here migrating off the northeastern regions. This is causing our much below average temperatures over here in the northeast. We also have a complex of thunderstorms ongoing in southern Oklahoma along the Red River region, but that is expected to dissipate. We also have that lingering cyclonic flow associated with an upper level low over here, convecting some moisture from the remnants of Tropical Storm Alvin into these arid regions of Arizona. Other than that, quiet across much of the United States. Here is our drought monitor. The solid lines demarcate the areas of most concern when it comes to drought. Here is our current watches and warnings. We have a severe thunderstorm watch over a small portion of south central Oklahoma, associated with the complex of thunderstorms. Air quality alert still exists over Minnesota, associated with near surface wildfire smoke. A flood watch for southern Arizona, associated with that flooding risk for today. Still, we have some lingering excessive heat warnings and watches in the Central Valley along with the western central basin of Nevada. Here's a look at our surface map today. Pretty meager frontal regimes all over. Still got a cold front pushing through the southeast, bringing below average temperatures for much of these regions that have had pretty good heat recently. We also have that severe weather threat here in Texas, but our main cyclone, our main frontal push, besides these, is going to come in the form of a low pressure system that's moving through the west right now, bringing some disturbed rainfall into much of the Intermountain West and even some snow in the higher elevations over here in the Rockies, in the northern Rockies specifically. This front will make its way east and cause some disturbed weather in the central high plains into the northern plains, bringing some severe weather risk for tomorrow. And that front will just continue to move on to the east, causing a severe weather and flooding threat on day 3 Tuesday. Here is our excessive rainfall forecast. Slight risk of excessive rainfall in southern Arizona. Pockets of 1 to 2 inches of rain is expected in these areas that are typically arid and dry, so flash flooding will be a concern for that region. Also, tomorrow, we have slight risk of excessive rainfall associated with the moving frontal regime. Some training convection may cause up to 3 inches of rain possible in any training convection regimes. Up to 3 inches of rain is also possible in areas of southeastern Florida, like Miami, because of training tropical convection over here. Day 3 Tuesday, we have a broad slight risk, mainly co-located in our severe weather threat over here from central Oklahoma towards the Red River, all the way towards around Davenport, Iowa, the Iowa-Illinois border. Right here, we're expecting a little bit less rain than yesterday, except certain pockets may receive a particularly good amount of rain down here further south in Oklahoma, which will then leave another slight risk over here in on Wednesday in southern Oklahoma. Now, the slight risk on day 4 on Wednesday and slight risk on day 5 Thursday are mainly co-located in the same place, and some regions actually have a slight risk of excessive rainfall all 5 days, which will ultimately lead to rain amounts up to 7 inches throughout this entire event. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got some confidence of saturated soils and all of that, particularly focused regions of excessive rainfall, which might warrant a higher flooding risk, such as a moderate, in the next few days. So definitely a prolific flooding event possible in regions like Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, and also northern Texas. So be aware of any updates to this flooding forecast. Here is our day 1 fire weather outlook. Elevated regions of the western basin, western Nevada, northwestern Nevada, and no other fire weather outlook for day 3 or the extended range. Here's our convective outlook. Day 1, slight risk for portions of east central Texas, such as DFW and also Waco, Texas. This is primarily for large to giant hail over here in these regions, and also damaging wind. Tornado threat is a bit lower today. Day 2, slight risk from the southern to central high plains over here, all the way up to the portions of the northern plains. This includes cities like Amarillo, Sioux Falls, Cheyenne, Kearney, and Garden City, primarily for a damaging wind and large hail threat. Tornado threat is pretty low for tomorrow. Day 3, again, slight risk over northern Texas all the way up to southern Wisconsin. This includes cities like Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Madison, Wisconsin, and also Springfield, Missouri. 15% risk of severe weather over here. Now, the hazards here may modulate within the risk region. Perhaps further south will have a bigger hail threat than further north, where we'll have a primary wind threat. Tornado threat is still up in question right now, but generally the hazards will modulate based on where you are in this risk area. I suspect it's going to be, like I said, hail threat is greater further south in the risk area, wind threat is further north in the risk area, like it always is, but we'll see how the convective evolution and the short range models look for this event. No extended range severe weather outlook. Here is our heat risk for today. Pretty mild throughout the United States, and that will sort of continue across this week and next week. Pretty warm, above average temperatures for the eastern United States by midweek, but by late week we should see another heat risk come into fruition down here in the southern United States and across southern Louisiana, southern Texas to southern Louisiana. Here's our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, June 6th through June 10th. Below average for the central United States, but above average for much of the rest of the United States, especially in the northwestern regions. Here's our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook, above average for much of the eastern United States and below average for the northwest United States. Here is our HREF viewer. We're going to look at the timing of our severe weather tonight. We actually have ongoing convection over here right now, but that is going to deplete as it moves on to the south. And then a reinvigoration of convection is expected possibly around 3 to 4 p.m. around this area associated with that warm front. And we should see that move on to the east-southeast as time goes on. Initially, we kind of see discrete-ish convection on the signals, so that may be there may be a time frame where we see especially large hail, but as time moves forward, we might start to see a bit of a clustering of these supercells where the hazards will be a bit more modulated. We'll probably see an increase on the wind threat when we get to nighttime and a decrease in the hail threat as we get to nighttime. But definitely, hail and wind primary hazards, and the storm morphology will always be conducive of large to giant hail regardless of the evolution. That is going to be it for today. If you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more weather briefings in the future. Of course, if you have any constructive criticisms, please leave them in the comments below. As always, if you want any specific information regarding your area, please refer to your local National Weather Service or broadcast meteorologists. Thank you and have a great day.